Good morning. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to this week's weekly live for relationship communications. Welcome to this week's weekly live. I'm thrilled that you're here with me. And for those of you joining us for the first time, I want you to know I'm the founder of Relationship Communications. It's my online community where I work with established and aspiring entrepreneurs. And today I'm going to be your host for the Relationship Communications Weekly Live, which is my weekly live stream that I do every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. And for those of you that follow me on a regular basis, I want to apologize for not being able to go live last Friday. But as well as you, some of you may know that there was a very devastating hurricane that hit my local area uh, last Friday morning, very, very early, or Thursday evening. And so I had no power last Friday. Uh, yeah, it was a different weekend at my house for sure. I'm sure you've probably seen some of my posts on my personal page about the hurricane that came through here. And guys, your thoughts and prayers are very appreciated because there is still a lot of people without power. And this is day 8 since the hurricane happened. They don't have power. They can't take showers. Some of them don't have water. Here in my local area. Now, North Carolina, about an hour away from me, Asheville area, they have it a whole lot worse than we did. So your thoughts and prayers are appreciated. There are also other places you can also donate to help these people. You can donate money or items, whatever you can donate, which is fine. I'll also try to post about that today in the group because I know there's different places taking donations to help those in North Carolina that are in a whole lot worse situation than we are. But thank you for those that have reached out and checked on me. I appreciate that. We went from early Friday morning to late Sunday evening without power and no cell service, no nothing. We couldn't make a phone call. We couldn't send a text message, nothing from our house. So we did have to kind of drive away from the house to actually get a signal to use our phones or our devices. So I appreciate all of those that have reached out as well. So just keep South Carolina and North Carolina in your thoughts and prayers as we try to recover from this hurricane. Okay. Thank you. That's all about that. We're going to move on with our weekly live. Like I said, this is my weekly live stream show that I do every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So I do hope you put that on your calendar. Make plans to join me every Friday morning at 10 a.m. And my goal here is to share tactical and practical information to help you get where you want to be faster than you can go on your own. I've been an entrepreneur for 6 years now. I've made many mistakes, and I'm here to tell you I can help you move through them more quickly by sharing what I have learned through my experiences. Let me know where you're coming in from. If you're joining me live, say hello. Let me know where you're coming in from. And we are streaming on various different platforms as well. So if you are watching this on our YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe or ring the bell so that you can be notified every time that we do go live. And we do go live multiple times during the week. Okay. So thank you again for joining today. So today we're going to be talking about how to build your email list, which is a very, very important piece for a thriving business. Okay. So, but before we dive into our topic, let me introduce myself. So again, say hello if you're joining me live and let me know where you're coming in from. But when I was a preschool teacher back in 2017 and 25 years prior to that, I dreamed of working from home. But I had been through 2 messy divorces and been a single mom twice. And it didn't seem possible at that time. I was the breadwinner for my household and was scared really to take that chance and do anything, to step out on my own and do anything on my own. So, but then when I met my current husband, Jeff, in 2012, and we married, I could start to see the possibility of my dream coming true. However, it was not an easy task, don't get me wrong. But with his support, I started a training program to learn how to be a virtual assistant in 2018, which showed me how to start my own business. And by the end of the program, which was a 6-month program, I had a couple of clients and have continued to grow my business. And now the Tiger Eye Solution team as well that I built in 2021 every single year. And my life looks a whole lot different than it did back then. This is my husband, Jeff, our family, our 3 kids, Caleb, Matthew, and Alyssa, my grandchildren, John Price or JP and Hattie. Those are the twins. And then you can see me holding our new addition that was just born in June of this year. His name is Anakin. So yes, we are proud grandparents of these 3 little ones. So let's dive into, like I said, today we're going to be talking about how to grow your email list. So if you're joining me live again, say hello. Let me know where you're coming in from. And we're going to talk about how you can create your email list, which is your pot of gold and a very critical piece of any thriving business. Okay. So like I said, your email list is your pot of gold. So let's dive into this. When I first started, my mentor told me that I needed to grow my list. And I didn't know or understand at that given time the power. And it actually took a couple of years for me to see it. You know, once I did start building my list, it took a little while. Looking back a few years later, I can't even tell you what a massive asset not only my list is, but the content that I create to send out to my list. Mostly my content is through email newsletter, which is a very vital piece of my business and can be of any business if you do have a newsletter you send out on a regular basis. And you can put valuable content in a newsletter to share with those on your list. Tips or advice or, things of that nature that might be helpful for those that are on your list. That's the type of things that you can share in a newsletter. So like from the content, so many things can be created. Like I said, you can put videos in there, podcasts, all kind of different things. And by doing what it takes to build your list, you have to start there first, of course, because you have to have a list to actually send a newsletter out to, right? So with an email list, you can send out, like I said, a newsletter, event invitations, promote events, and so much more. It just depends on what type of business it is that you have. Some of these different things may be beneficial to you. But I highly encourage all business owners to at least have an email newsletter. Okay. So you can engage with your current and potential clients and customers by growing your email list. And guys, it's really, really simple to do. We talk here in the group about coffee chats all the time, networking, meeting new people, and then scheduling those coffee chats, those one-on-one conversations. When you have those coffee chats, just ask them, at the end of that chat, do you mind if I add you to my email list? I send out, a monthly newsletter or whatever it is you send out with some valuable information. If it's not beneficial to you, you can always unsubscribe, because that option is also included in the newsletter. But it's really simple. So when I first started out, my list was probably 50 to 100 people. Not very many, because it takes a little while to get the list built. Okay. So, you really have to reach out to people to get their email addresses. And my email list now is probably close to 2,000. It's well over 1,000. So it's between 1,000 and 2,000 probably. I have not been actively growing my list as I should. I probably could have a whole lot more, but I added about 100 people at a time, when I was first getting my email list built. And it does take effort and it does take time. But imagine sending a newsletter out and it hitting, say, 1,100 people, right? Who know you and like you with valuable content that they could benefit from. It's like a gift in their inbox, okay? So now growing your list is more than just collecting names and emails. It's really about cultivating relationships. Understand the work that you do is memorable, right? So you want to be to share it in a clear and simple way. So that could be so they can remember it and, share it with others. Share who you are and what you do with others. And you don't want to overcomplicate it. And that builds your referral engine as well. And see, these referral people can also be on your email list. So absolutely, you want to keep them warm, those people that's on your email list, okay? So I want to show you in a very basic way how this works. And then we'll dive into a little bit more detail. First, let's talk about who you want on your list, okay? Friends, family, coworkers, past bosses, people you know in your community, your holiday card list, people you meet, the new people that you meet, right? If you have an old Rolodex, some of you may know what that is and some of you may not, pull it out. You can use the people in there too. Reconnect with them, okay? It's all about providing information and spreading the word about your business as much as you can. So you want to reconnect with those maybe you haven't even spoken to in a while, say 8, 9, 10 years, who knows? So for those that you're thinking of that you need this email list for sales are not the result. It's not the why. The why is really about cultivating the relationships, staying in touch with the people who may or may not eventually work with you. But if they don't, they possibly could refer others to you that do, right? Think about it this before. 2 people are having coffee, okay, at a coffee shop. One of them says, I need a dentist. Can you recommend someone? The same thing happens when someone says, my email inbox is a mess and I need help getting it cleaned up. Or do you know anyone that knows WordPress websites? I need some assistance with my website. And then all of a sudden the person is like, oh yeah, I do. You should call Lisa. That is how it happens. Just as if they're asking about your dentist, they're letting you know that, they're having trouble with their email inbox, that it's a hot mess, as we like to call it, and they need help cleaning it up. A virtual assistant can help you do that. They know me and they know I have a virtual assistant business, so they're going to recommend me to that person. And they make an introduction between me and that person. Okay. So that's one of the reasons you want to build relationships and have people on your list, even the ones you haven't seen in years. So get on social media and your email inbox and collect all the people together that you know. Then what you want to do is you want to create a regular scheduled original content, whether it's a newsletter or whether it's something else. Okay. So you want to write a newsletter and then you want to engage with your audience. Okay. So if they write you back, nice newsletter, way to go. Engage with them. Send them a reply. Thank you. What did you like about it? Or thank you. I appreciate you letting me know. On social media, you can post your content as well. You can put a whole article or whatever in a newsletter, but then you can take bits and pieces of that and make social media posts out of it. So your content is going in different places, not just in your newsletter. Okay. Like I said, social media, you can post your content, and then when people comment, you reply back to them. It's not about just making sure you're paying attention to the people, you're engaging with them. Okay. Then you build relationships. So no selling, no cold calling, nothing like that. It's genuinely building relationships. Put any questions you have about this in the chat. Now, how do you grow your list? There are many ways to do this. In case you're wondering, there is no easy way to do it. Like I said, it's going to take time. If you put it on social media or on Facebook, I'm doing a newsletter. I would love you all to subscribe. Can I have your email address? Nothing's going to happen. Nobody's going to respond to that. All right? You might get maybe 1 or 2 emails if you're lucky. It's so much more labor intensive. It's worth every single minute that you do it. I promise. So a lot of you, I already know, are saying, I text people. I DM with people. I WhatsApp people. I don't have their email addresses. You have to get their email address, okay, for this to work. People who are seriously in business, 99% of them, they're running their life on email, okay? You can't run a successful business in Facebook Messenger. It just don't work. And so what you want to do is you want to get their email addresses. And I'm going to give you the exact words to use to do that. Okay? So what you would want to say if you meet Sally at a networking event, y'all have a coffee chat, the one-on-one conversation, and then you forgot to ask her at the end of that conversation for her email address. So you could reach back out to her. And there's other places you can do this as well, like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, all the places where you have relationships, text messages, So here's what you're going to say. Hi, Sally. I write a monthly newsletter for Tiger Eye Solution. That's all about virtual assistant platforms. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. If you're interested, please send me your email address. You can always unsubscribe if it's not useful. That's it. Or I write a monthly newsletter for Tiger Eye Solution. That's all about business solutions. That's what my newsletter is called. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. If you're interested, please send me your email address. You can always unsubscribe if it's not useful, right? You can DM this to people. You can text this to people, ever how you communicate with them. You can send the same wording to them. I have grown my list considerably like this. Some people ignore it, and that's okay. Some people don't even see it. Don't take that personally. It's not too many places for some people to check, right? It just depends if they're in all different places. So if they don't respond, don't worry about it. You need to respond right away to those that do respond. Grab the email address, put it in your email platform, whether it's MailChimp, MailerLite, Constant Contact, whatever your platform is, where you do your newsletter, and then create a regular scheduled content or a regular scheduled newsletter so that you can stay in touch with them and stay top of mind. That's the whole point right there, is to stay top of mind with these people. Because like I said before, they could be at a coffee shop having a conversation with someone. And instead of the person saying, do you like your dentist? They might say, I really need help cleaning out my email inbox. Do you know anybody that does that? Ding, ding, ding. Yes, Lisa has a virtual assistant business. You need to talk to her. I'm most certain she can help you with that. Right? So if you have any questions about anything I shared today, please put it in the comments below. Be happy to answer your questions. If you would like to have a private conversation, that's possible as well. To learn more about creating a newsletter, getting those email addresses, etc. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I will see you next week for Tuesday Tips. Cut the gibberish.